Greg Kelly. The latest breaking news and opinions. Entertaining and informative.
Given that I have one of the fastest growing Twitter accounts in the universe, they tell me I've got a lot of influence these days. They do. People reach out and they say, hey, can you tweet about this? Can you tweet about that? I'm like, no. Oh, by the way, I did not go to see the Top Gun movie last night. I just... Number one, it's true. I did not want to. It's such a hassle to make the damn reservation. 7 p.m. showings in the IMAX theater, and I had to make a reservation, and you know what that entails. I got to set up an account. I got to give them a new password. The password, it's got to be a special type of password. I got fed up, and I said, I'm doing this some other time. I just want to wander in off the street, no big deal, and go see a movie. Is that too much to ask? So I can get little notices from the movie theater, from the ticket Fandango about the next special, their points club. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want no electronic record of my attending this movie. None. I just want to go and leave, and that's it. But no, I have to set up a relationship with IMAX or whatever the hell it is. Hey, Citibank, your stupid Citizen bikes. Oh, shoot. Well, I already made a mistake. Citizen bikes. City bikes. Hey, Citibank, your stupid city bikes stink. All these silly yuppies pedaling around like maniacs, blowing off stoplights, hurting themselves and others. Deadly threat. Cancel city bikes. I think that's probably enough to get them on the phone. What do you think, huh? I tag Citi. They've got their social media team. They look at how many followers I got, and I do think these things should go away. Why do we need them? Hey, for months out of the year, how many months can you not ride a bike in New York City? December, it's really too cold to ride a bike, right? January, February, most of March, you can't ride a bike. 8 months out of the year, is it that pleasant? Is it that what? We got subways, I know the subway situation, but I don't want anybody on a bike, or if you do, what we need is a great big crackdown from the cops. I know this is asking a lot, but they need to start handing out tickets at stop signs and stoplights that these guys go right through. And maybe we should license them. Yeah. In New York, sure. I'm for that. I am totally for that. Hold on a second. Citibank, you are on notice. You think this, I'm gonna make these guys nervous. Hey, the other thing, who I hear is nervous. I mean, big time nervous is Eric Adams and his chief of staff. They are up to something. Eric Adams and this silly rope project. Did you hear about this? What's his name? Carone. So there's this little, it's basically like a lasso. A lasso that cowboys used? And it doesn't work, but they really, really, really were pushing it. And the New York Times, they push a lot of fake news, but they got something here very interesting. I mentioned it in passing, but I spent a little bit more time on it, and it looks like Eric Adams is pushing a company that his friend is a major investor in. And Eric is not particularly smart, and he's not particularly ethical, so I could totally see this happening. All right, ready? For years, as an elected official and candidate for New York City mayor, Eric Adams promoted an unconventional police tool called the Bola Wrap, designed to fire a Kevlar tether that ensnares people who might fight or try to flee from the authorities. The handheld device had been tested and rejected by the New York Police Department. Yet in 2018, Mr. Adams, as Brooklyn Borough President, invited reporters to Borough Hall for a Bola Wrap demonstration, firing it and being fired at himself before exclaiming, "This is a damn good product, man." He praised Bola Wrap again in 2019, bringing it up during a television interview and calling it an excellent tool for diffusing violent situations. And he mentioned it once more during his successful bid for mayor, saying at a forum in 2020 that he had tried to get the police department to use it. What was not widely known, as Mr. Adams lauded the device, was that his friend, political benefactor, and current chief of staff, Frank Carone, had a significant financial stake in the company that makes it. Indeed, Mr. Carone more than doubled his investment within 2 weeks of Mr. Adams' endorsement at Borough Hall. Hey, there's a silly picture here of Eric Adams standing with the dumb rope around his legs. This guy knows nothing about being a cop. Oh, it's a damn good product. Interviews and records showed that Mr. Carone, the former top lawyer at the Brooklyn Democratic Party, invested about $980,000 in Wrap Technologies, the bowler wrap maker, over a 3-year period. You have that kind of money just laying around? $1 million to invest in bowler wrap? Who's going to do that? Unless you got a friend in high places who can make things happen, huh? He earned more than $460,000 in profits while Mr. Adams was publicizing the company's chief product. Yeah, this is, we got all kinds of rules and laws and regulations against this kind of stuff, folks. Mr. Carone and Mr. Adams both said Mr. Adams did not know about Mr. Carone's investment until the Times brought it to the mayor's attention last month. They said Mr. Adams' promotion of bowler wrap was entirely coincidental. Right. It's not like IBM makes this, okay? Bowler wrap. What the hell is that? Some obscure company in California. Of all the technologies out there, this one. Now listen to this. I've never had a conversation with Eric about it, ever, Mr. Carone said in an interview. You know what that is? That's a non-denial denial. Okay, did you text about it? Did you send an email about it? You know, conversation connotes a verbal exchange. Was there a written exchange? Did you leave out the name? There's all kinds of wiggle room here. Nevertheless, by repeatedly plugging the device, Mr. Adams generated publicity that benefited the company and its shareholders, including Mr. Carone, who again is the current chief of staff to the mayor. And I'm hearing there's a lot of this stuff, a lot of questionable stuff out there about Carone. Mr. Adams declined to be interviewed for this article. His spokesman, Maxwell Young, said in a statement that Mr. Adams' only goal in promoting bowler wrap was to call for innovative, non-lethal technology to reduce shootings and save lives. He is proud to have received donations from thousands of New Yorkers, blah, 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 blah. Now, the New York City Police Department rejected this thing twice. The professionals, okay? And Mr. Carone first he's been introducing Adams to the head of the company again and again and again, and Adams goes around publicizing it. And he says, I can't imagine why the NYPD would not want this thing. Oh, man. Few people played a more integral role in Mr. Adams' rise to City Hall than Frank Carone. Oh, boy. What do you think, folks? What do you think? I think he's dirty. I do. Wrap Technologies started trading over-the-counter exchange for $5 a share in May of 2018. Let's see. Mr. Adams received donations from this company. Mr. Carone said he did not introduce Mr. Cohen to Mr. Adams or ask him for donations. They're talking around it. Here we go. I cannot imagine anyone in policing that after seeing this device would not start at least a pilot project. That's unimaginable to me. Well, there were certain problems with the product. It was too loud, number one. You fire a rope, it sounded like you were firing a gun. And the police were worried that somebody will think that a gun was just fired. And then they have this thing called sympathetic firing. And then everybody's shooting. So you don't want your non-lethal technology to sound like lethal technology, i.e. a gun. That's a big thing. What were the other problems? Looks like the thing wasn't particularly accurate. You shoot a rope around somebody's leg to stop them from running. You don't need this thing. A lot of people have these ideas, and it doesn't work. Let's see, what else did the NYPD say about it? All right, look, I think he's in big trouble. And I hear that the Carone, the chief of staff, is not going to make it because he's got all kinds of other phony baloney deals going behind the scenes. And but I'm not surprised. All right, back to the issue at hand. Again, gun control. They're all talking about it all the time. If only we can get gun control would have prevented this, right? Here's Joe Biden, so exasperated. Cut 13.
What struck me was these kinds of mass shootings rarely happen anywhere else in the world. Why? They have mental health problems. They have domestic disputes in other countries. They have people who are lost. But these kinds of mass shootings never happen with the kind of frequency they happen in America. Why? Why are we willing to live with this carnage?
Well, that's less true than ever before. And you know what liberal filmmaker Michael Moore thinks? He actually thinks it's the media culture. It's the media. The media. They have a huge role in all of this stuff. I don't care for Michael Moore. We disagree on 99% of everything he puts out, I disagree with. But every now and then, he's got something. Every now and then. He's the one, by the way, he predicted that Trump would win. He also, and I admire this, was one of the most vocal opponents of the Iraq War before and during it. And we needed that. Why here and not in other places? I wouldn't wonder, are we more likely to prescribe those psychotropic drugs? I want to put it on the table. I want that discussed. I want that. And I don't like it when... Did we get that Joe Scarborough stuff making all that noise? Calling Republicans grotesque? Hey, and I don't think we can leave it to the families of those who have lost children in these mass shootings. Because they've been politicized and they're being used for whatever cause you want to advance. I saw two families from Parkland. One who was entirely for gun control and the other is entirely against it.